potatoes, we grow them in peat. First of all, we would put the peat through a shredder just to aerate it and create a nice fine tilth, and also just to remove any sticks or stones, or sometimes there's even bits of glass in there. So we shred all the bales of peat, then it goes into the mixer. For each 4 3.5 gallon buckets of peat, we would put in 16 ounces of a general fertiliser and 12 ounces of calcified seaweed. And then whilst it's mixing, we add a can of water as well. And then once that's churned around and well mixed, it's ready to sow the potatoes in. So this is just these polypot bags. You probably see shrubs and trees in at the garden centre. Have the drainage holes in them already. Fill the bag about a third. Now the potatoes have been chitted beforehand. Where the eyes are, the original potato and the shoots have come, just with the thumbnail, just dig those out completely and just leave 2 with Winston that you think are the best or the strongest shoots. So those are all gouged out and now that's ready to sow. And then the bag's just topped up. And that's how we treat all the potatoes that we grow. We do grow an awful lot of vegetables, and therefore we can afford to eliminate quite a lot just purely because we don't like their shape or their colour, let alone their condition, and hopefully get the uniformity. For example, this year we've grown about 432 bags of potatoes, 400 runner bean plants, 200 cauliflowers, and then there are 2 beds of stump-rooted carrots, each with 300 in. So if you only got 10 potatoes out of each bag, that's about 4,000 potatoes, I think, isn't it? And yet we only might want to put about 200 on the show bench, and a lot do get rejected. We're now mid-July, and all the potatoes are up now, and the next stage really, once we've cut the hulls off, is that we leave the potatoes in the shed. And we leave them in the shade at the bottom of the garden where it's pretty cool and dark for 10 days at least. And that's really just to let the skin set or harden a bit so we don't damage them when we start sorting them out. Because what we want to do once they've been there for 10 days is to sort them out and discard any that definitely aren't any good for showing. And I just lay a towel down on the big freezer that's there, use that as a table, and a towel put over the top immediately because we like to keep out the light, because once they've been there for a couple of days, they go green. Can you see, if I just quickly show you, they're all 5s, but you couldn't put them all on a dish together because they wouldn't be uniform. See, that one's long, that one's rounder, and he's got a funny face. But that's why we need to grow something. And then they're weighed, and any that are 6, 7 or 8 ounce would be kept because that's the sort of weights we're looking for. And then we'll put them back into boxes and to some clean peat. And then they go back down the shed until we get time, really, to sort them into sets. This is the final stage of the preparation of potatoes. What happens is the day before a show, I bring them up out of the shed and wash the sets for that particular show. And then once they're dry, they'll be wrapped up in paper. I just use some kitchen towel, and they'll go into a cardboard box, either a shoe box or a fruit box, depends how many potatoes there are, to be transported to the show.
Right then, Charlie, what about me?